Big mistakes can be extremely costly, literally. From bad decisions to business failures, history is full of examples where a simple slip led to million-dollar losses and gigantic collapses. Whether financial catastrophes, technological disasters, or industrial accidents, these mistakes not only marked their perpetrators, but also left a profound global impact. By exploring these cases, it becomes clear that even the greatest empires are subject to drastic falls due to human error. If you're enjoying this content, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss the next stories of historical mistakes and their million-dollar impacts. The 2014 derailment in the Rocky Mountains became a classic example of historical mistakes that had devastating consequences. A train transporting Boeing 737 fuselages derailed, leading to the total loss of 6 fuselages. It is estimated that the economic cost of this accident was $540 million. The most alarming part? The cause of the disaster was attributed to negligence, with critical failures in track maintenance, which were not properly inspected. This wrong decision perfectly illustrates how a simple human error can result in million-dollar losses for large corporations. The failure in this case was not just technological, but a mix of business and industrial disasters. The negligence in inspecting the tracks could have been avoided with proper planning and the implementation of stricter safety policies. However, the lack of investment in maintenance ultimately led to a financial catastrophe. This shows how strategic errors can directly impact the production line, causing significant losses not only for the companies involved, but also for the entire supply chain. Gerald Ratner's bad deal. One of the most well-known historical mistakes in the business world was made by Gerald Ratner, owner of one of the largest jewelry chains in the UK. In a public speech, Ratner unexpectedly decided to call his own products crap. This simple phrase led to one of the fastest and most impactful financial disasters in recent history. The company's shares plummeted by 80%, resulting in a $1 million loss of $1.3 billion, culminating in his dismissal from the very company he founded. This event highlights the importance of careful strategic positioning in the market. The collapse of the Ratner Group was a clear example of how a poorly thought-out comment can result in wrong decisions with a large economic cost. The public's trust in the brand almost instantly disappeared, and even marketing campaigns or efforts to reverse the negative image were not enough to save the business. Here, Ratner underestimated the power of words and the influence his leadership had on the market. This strategic mistake had irreparable consequences, leading to the near extinction of an empire that had been carefully built over the years. Hoover's free flights offer. In the 1990s, Hoover found itself involved in one of the most iconic financial crises in the appliance sector. The company launched a promotion that initially seemed like a brilliant strategy, offering 2 free flights to Europe to anyone who purchased their products. However, what was supposed to be a successful marketing move quickly turned into a catastrophic strategic mistake. The demand exceeded expectations, and Hoover could not cover the cost of the tickets, resulting in a $219 million loss. The financial waste and poor investments were so immense that the once market-leading company saw its share plummet by 90%, leading to the eventual sale of Hoover. This example perfectly illustrates how a wrong decision can cause severe business failures and compromise decades of success in a short period. The economic cost was devastating, and the company never regained its leading position. Hoover's story has become a classic example of how unchecked ambition can lead to collapse. Bugatti fraud. In an impressive example of human error, a driver attempted to deceive his insurance company by claiming that his $1 million Bugatti Veyron had crashed after swerving to avoid a pelican. What he didn't know was that a video had captured the exact moment when he deliberately drove the car into a lake, exposing his attempted fraud. The result? A 3-year prison sentence and $600,000 in damages, in addition to irreparable damage to his reputation. This incident reflects how wrong decisions motivated by greed can have drastic and unexpected consequences. Beyond the financial loss, the failure to foresee that his lie would be easily exposed reveals a lack of basic judgment. Here, the waste was twofold. The million-dollar car was destroyed unnecessarily, and the driver faced incalculable legal and financial costs. The economic cost of poorly calculated fraud can go far beyond the value of the destroyed asset, affecting one's personal and professional life permanently. Enjoying this so far? Then leave a like and share your opinion in the comments. We want to know what you think of these mistakes that changed history. Supercar wreck in 2023. A truck transporting 9 supercars, including Ferraris and Lamborghinis, overturned in the UK, leading to a $1 million loss of $2.5 million. The driver swerved sharply to avoid cyclists on the road, causing the accident. While he was praised for avoiding a potential human tragedy, the economic loss was substantial, exemplifying how quick decisions can result in industrial accidents with devastating consequences. This case falls under the category of technological disasters and business failures, as the vehicles were in transit under the responsibility of a luxury transport company whose insurers likely had to cover the damages. The attempt to avoid a fatal accident brought with it a huge economic cost, highlighting the role of human error in financial catastrophes. Although the driver's decision was motivated by saving lives, the $1 million losses left a lasting impact on those involved. Volkswagen emissions scandal. The Volkswagen emissions scandal became one of the biggest technological disasters and business failures of the 21st century. It was discovered that Volkswagen had installed software in their cars to cheat emissions tests, making the vehicles appear more environmentally friendly than they actually were. When this practice came to light, the company was fined $33.3 billion, faced lawsuits in several countries, and had to buy back more than 350,000 vehicles. The economic cost was enormous, as was the damage to its global reputation. The impact of this strategic mistake was immense, not only financially, but also in terms of wasted resources and million-dollar losses. The crisis shook consumer confidence in Volkswagen, which was previously seen as one of the most reliable automakers in the world. The attempt to manipulate a system in favor of a quick profit resulted in a financial crisis and a corporate collapse that forced the company to reevaluate its entire production chain and ethical values. This case demonstrates how wrong decisions can be devastating when they involve public trust. Environmental disaster in Spain. In 2002, the oil tanker Prestige, carrying 77,000 tons of oil, sank off the coast of Spain after being rejected by several ports during a storm. The ship's 77-year-old captain struggled to find a safe place to anchor, ultimately leading to one of the largest environmental disasters in history. The economic cost of this disaster was $1 billion, spent on fines and cleanup operations, as well as irreversible damage to marine life and the coasts of several countries. This event became a landmark in discussions about negligence and unsuccessful crisis management policies. The delay in decision-making and lack of coordination between the involved governments aggravated the accident's consequences. Like many natural and industrial disasters, human error played a crucial role here, with the failure to find a safe harbor for the tanker, leading to a global impact on the region's biodiversity. The business failures of the involved operators and the lack of preparation to handle a crisis of this magnitude generated international criticism. Whirlpool in Lake Peigneur. In 1980, one of the most bizarre technological disasters occurred in Lake Peigneur, Louisiana, when Texaco conducted a poorly calculated drilling operation in search of oil. The drill hit an underground salt mine, creating a massive whirlpool that sucked all the water from the lake and caused the formation of a 60-meter-deep sinkhole. This industrial accident caused million-dollar losses and irreparable damage to the area, with Texaco being ordered to pay $150 million in compensation. The event at Lake Peigneur exemplifies what can happen when wrong decisions are made without proper risk analysis. The economic cost was immense, but the environmental and social impact was also significant. The destruction of the lake and the mine forced the evacuation of several nearby communities and left a legacy of waste and destruction. This is one of many examples of business failures caused by a lack of planning and the desire to accelerate operations without considering the potential consequences. Google rejected by Excite. In 1999, Excite.com, one of the largest internet companies at the time, made one of the biggest strategic mistakes in the tech sector by rejecting the purchase of Google for just $1 million. At the time, Larry Page and Sergey Brin were trying to sell Google to fund other projects, but Excite CEO George Bell didn't see value in what they were offering. Today, Google is valued at over $1 trillion, while Excite has been completely eclipsed and almost forgotten. This historical mistake is an example of how a wrong decision can be costly. The refusal to acquire Google for a mere sum, compared to its current value, led Excite to miss the opportunity to dominate the online search market, which was still forming at the time. This is a classic case of business failure, where the lack of vision and assessment of emerging trends resulted in the ruin of a company. The indirect million-dollar losses for Excite are incalculable, considering the potential growth that was discarded. Superyacht wreck. In 2020, a $70 million superyacht sank during a water removal operation for maintenance. The yacht, considered a jewel of naval engineering, capsized and suffered such severe damage that the repair cost was exorbitant. This event enters the list of industrial accidents where seemingly small failures result in million-dollar losses. While the yacht was refloated, the material damage was vast, and the economic cost of the operation was enormous. Human error was a key factor in this accident. The failure during the superyacht's removal could have been avoided with more careful planning and more robust preventive measures. The incident demonstrates how technological disasters can occur even in high-control scenarios, where the lack of attention to critical details can lead to financial catastrophes. The waste involved in the sinking goes beyond the yacht itself, also affecting the professionals responsible for the operation and generating additional costs with insurance and maintenance. The mistakes we explored show how a single poorly planned decision can lead to catastrophic consequences. Whether in the corporate world, finance, or technology, history is full of examples of financial crises, environmental disasters, and million-dollar losses that could have been avoided. But what can you learn from this? What strategic mistakes are you about to make without realizing it? Reflecting on these stories, it becomes clear that the biggest failures often come from wrong decisions and a lack of careful analysis. So how about taking a closer look at your own choices? Wouldn't it be wise to reconsider before it's too late? And remember, to avoid business failures or even bad investments, being well-informed is the first step. Apply this knowledge, and you'll be one step ahead of decisions that can cost you dearly. If you like this content and want to keep learning, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any new videos.